the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase will be streaming on Sunday, June 13th at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here it says the show will be focused on games from Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, and many game creators from our partners around the world. You've told us how excited you are about welcoming Bethesda into the Xbox family, so we know you're going to want a front row seat to the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase, a 90-minute show packed with everything you want to know about the epic gaming lineup coming out of this partnership. The incredible games coming to Xbox this holiday, upcoming releases on Xbox Game Pass, and more. You'll be able to watch the Xbox Bethesda Game Showcase in a variety of ways. Be sure to visit any of the links below before the show starts. This is exciting. This is exciting. Let me finish this real quick. We miss being able to see our fans and celebrate in person, so we will be hosting a digital Xbox Fan Fest this year. Sign up as an Xbox Fan Fest fan at xbox.fanfest to learn more. Mark your calendars for Sunday, June 13th at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, and we'll see you there. Definitely gonna see me there. Cannot wait. The Xbox Fan Fest stuff, I would recommend y'all sign up to that. I did that last year, and that's how I got Xbox Series X poster. And yeah, they actually gave some digital good stuff too. I don't remember what it was exactly, but they gave something digital on Xbox. They gave some stuff away last year, which was cool. So I'm guessing they're gonna do it bigger and better this year, since last year was basically like the first time that they did that. Or it might have been the year before when they did the XO event at Mexico. I think that was the first time they did it. Wait, I think I'm mentioning the same event. I'm not sure, man. The last year, because of the pandemic, has kind of like screwed things up, So yeah, screw things up in my head. Basically, I like placing things where they actually, when they actually happen. But this event is obviously, the show to watch at E3. 90-minute show, 90 minutes, an hour and a half. That's amazing. What else? I wonder. Look, what I was mentioning in the intro when I was like, "Damn, they did something that I said I didn't want them to do." Let's, talk about that real quick. So when Bethesda was first bought out, if you go back to like all the discussions I had about it, you're gonna hear me say like in one of them. I know I said, because I know I clearly stated it because it's really what I thought and it's still what I feel, and it kind of irks me right now looking at this. I said, I hope when you play a Bethesda game now in the future, it starts with the Xbox Game Studio logo. Then Bethesda, then, the studio in Bethesda who's making the game, and then start game. And the way they word it right here, just the name of the actual event is Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase. And now remember, Xbox would do their showcase, Bethesda would do their showcase. They would usually be around the same length. So now they're smashed together, and it's just gonna be 90 minutes, which is fine by me, Like, just give me quick hits of stuff and then flesh that stuff out throughout E3. That's what I hope. And in the future, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to see stuff at E3, remember the stuff you see, right? That looks really good to you, and then when it's finally coming out, hopefully, look out for it and play it. That's the way E3 is supposed to work. I feel like a lot of people just watch E3s, hate on stuff, hate on everything indie. Remember 2 big announcements, that's what they play, and then everything else sucked. And I'm like, I don't think we game the same way. I don't think we're the same type of gamers, So maybe that's why there's a disconnect of how I think it's supposed to be and then how it actually is. But to me, it's like, listen, people are going to be like, oh yeah, 90 minutes, what is going to be all CGI, da-da-da. My whole thing is, you can have CGI. As long as there's some gameplay in there, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Have gameplay for stuff that we're actually going to play this year, I'm happy. If stuff ain't coming this year, feel free to show CGI trailers. It'll get me excited. I'm not going to shit on the show because, oh yeah, it's all CGI. Do I want to see gameplay for stuff from 2022? Yeah, if it's up to me, my whole thing would be show gameplay for stuff coming this fall, show gameplay for stuff coming next year if we could. If we could. Show it, because you got to understand, every single one of these developers are working from home. Aaron Greenberg has stated as such before, and he reconfirmed it again. They're all working from home. So you still got to have that on. People real quick to be like, pandemic. And then it's like when you need to actually be like, oh yeah, pandemic. They're like, nah. And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be fickle about this situation. But yeah, like the separation of Xbox and Bethesda. I don't want to see that. I really didn't want to see that. I really do hope that this is just for this show because it's the first year. That's the biggest thing in the video game world. Is this acquisition? That's been the biggest talk since last year. And then this year, at the beginning, the first half of this year, this was the megaton announcement. That's not me just being, an Xbox fan. No, that's the truth. That's factual truth. There was no big announcement made. So I get making the show Xbox and Bethesda. But then when I keep reading, because I'm still looking at it goes, the show will be focused on games from Xbox Game Studio, Bethesda, and many more. But let's be clear. And many game creators from our partners around the world. See, they separated Bethesda from their partners because they're not partners. They own them. But I do want that separation to stop. Because Xbox Game Studio shouldn't be separate from Bethesda. It should all be the same. Remember when I was talking about, this was also part of the acquisition because it was part of that roundtable where they talked about how Bethesda would do these like yearly like Comic-Con basically, but for Bethesda games. And everybody, behind the scenes, no industry people, no media, no nothing. Nobody's gonna know about this. This is just for them. Their own little private Comic-Con, just to showcase what they working on. Then everybody can basically piggyback off each other and say, I like what you're doing there. Or somebody else can say, we was working on something like that, but we couldn't really wrap our head around it, how y'all did that, and they can tell them. So everybody works together. I was saying that's awesome, and that should stay a thing because I think that's going to benefit us, the gamers. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I hope it's not a separation where it's like, Xbox Game Studio isn't going to be invited to that in the future. Nah, I want all of them. I want all the Bethesda studios, all the Xbox studios together. Be like, if the Perfect Dark guys, Collision, we need help with this thing. We just started using Unreal Engine 5. Hellblade team comes out and be like, we got this. And some guys from Bethesda, we working on this Wolfenstein thing. We know how to do that. And then out of nowhere, the Collision, who's probably going to be like the best Unreal developer on the planet because they've always made like the most beautiful Unreal Engine games, Gears of Wars and stuff. The most tech pushing ones. They can be, we know how to do that, And, if everybody's there, it's just going to make for their first party to get better and better. I know it might not be the same, and I know it's just words, so in your mind, you, put it together. I guess, basically, like, when you read a book, you make the characters, they might look different to you versus to me, and we read the same book. But, when Nintendo talked about those lunch break meetings, I always pictured it being, lunch. And, the Nintendo building, the goddamn white building with all the little windows. I just picture everybody going to lunch at the exact same time every day. And there being, this one big lunchroom with, monitors everywhere. And then people just get up and showcase, look what we working on, right? And look what we working on. And then one day, they had this showcase, right? Look, during lunch. And they showed these bunny rabbits running around. And then Miyamoto was like, that's awesome. Everybody's playing that. Everybody's loving it. People are coming to play this. People dying for their lunch break to come play this damn bunny rabbit game. Let's make it a reality. Those bunnies turned into squids. Inklings were born. Splatoon was born. We got what we got now. That's really the story of Splatoon. Obviously, not my scenario where every Nintendo developer is there, but there were a bunch of Nintendo teams there. Obviously, you're going to have the Animal Crossing team there because it's the Splatoon team. So I just think about that, Miyamoto walking by, what's all the ruckus over there? They playing this little new thing that, 5 guys from the team made during their lunch break or whatever the case may be. Let me look at that. Bunnies. That's crazy. And then, they changed it all up. It became a real product. That's what I feel like these Xbox Bethesda shows can be. That's just one story of something that came out. And it's the best story because Splatoon is a household name game now. It's a Nintendo IP that's more loved and revered than F-Zero ever was, Metroid ever was. And I know that'll rub people the wrong way. Dude, I'm the F-Zero guy who will rub the wrong way. I'm the Metroid guy who will rub the wrong way, but it don't rub me the wrong way because I love seeing new IPs come. I love when Pikmin came. I love seeing, Splatoon come to the forefront and just take shit over. That's awesome. So, teamwork, man, leads to big and beautiful things for us gamers. So seeing the separation here kind of got me like, damn, that's not what I wanted. But I can't, jump to conclusions and think it's going to be the worst thing in the world. You never know. We got to wait and see. I'm just happy it's one show together and they ain't separated. Xbox is on this day, Bethesda is on that day. Because then it would make it feel even more like, hold on. Whoa. Because then if you're watching the Bethesda thing and everything is Xbox exclusive, then it's like, why wasn't this all in the Xbox show? It is going to be an Xbox show. It's just Xbox and Bethesda, which is fine. because Bethesda is a household name, like I said before. So now I want to mention E3 real quick because E3, E3 the actual show, because I was just talking about E3, but E3 registrations, the rollout has begun. So let me bring up the details actually right here, because yeah, it's gonna be first for the media, right, and then it's gonna be for influencers and just the general public. Now, me personally, I said I don't really have any intentions of signing up to any of this stuff, but it's cool that it's happening and all of that good stuff. For the people who do want to sign up and watch it through their own stuff. Me personally, it's like, yeah, the Nintendo thing I watch. Like, if you saw right there, Xbox gave you all the platforms to watch their show. So it's like, I don't understand what's the point of signing up to all the ESA stuff. Like, I don't see demos being tied to like, oh, are you subbed into your E3 app in order to access this game on your Switch, on your Xbox. Like, I don't see that happening. So really, that's why I really don't have any real rush to go and sign up. But anyway, let me tell you the dates of when you can sign up. You, the fan, if you want to sign up. Okay, we got the registration for the media already open here, so that doesn't concern any of us. All right, so on May 31st, 2021, industry creators and influencers can register. And then on June 3rd, 2021, fan registration opens up. So there you have it. And obviously, June 12th through 15th is when E3 actually takes place, which now brings me to Summer Games Fest, Jeff Keighley show, which is now confirmed to start a day earlier on, no, 2 days earlier actually. It's going to start on June 10th with Kickoff Live. Jeff Keighley is going to basically do a world premiere showcase with performances by Weezer and Day of the Developers and more. Okay, so yeah, they're gonna start at 2 p.m. Eastern on June 10th, and then this thing, the Summer Game Fest, is basically the same thing that the ESA is doing, which is basically the E3 and Summer Game Fest is the name of the thing, but then they'll just be hosting on their own platforms June 12th at 3 p.m. Eastern. Ubisoft Forward, because I'm looking at the Summer Games Fest website after looking at the E3 one. It's the same thing. June 13th, 1 p.m. Eastern, Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase. June 16th, 1 p.m. Eastern, Steam Next Fest, right? 6 days, hundreds of demos. That's awesome. So yeah, that's June 16th. That's after the fact of E3. So look, that's a confirmation right there. If you got a PC, that you're gonna be able to play a ton of demos on Steam, which is great. I'll definitely try to take advantage of that for sure. I know they said that Sony's gonna participate in the world premiere showcase thing, if I'm not mistaken, right? For the Summer Game Fest. So I'm like, okay, cool. They're taking part, but it doesn't seem like it. I know later this week they're gonna have. Not this week. Actually, it's on. Let me tell you right now. It's on Tuesday, I think, that they're gonna be having on the 1st of June. They're gonna have Horizon Forbidden West 14-minute gameplay showcase. So that's cool. That game is actually gonna make it out this year. Pray for God of War. Yeah, man. So that's the Summer Games Fest, E3. We got those out the way. We discussed those, and there's still more. So June 10th. That's soon. Let me go back to the calendar real quick. June 10th. Look at that. All right. Today's. All right. Damn. That basically starts 2 weeks from now, Thursday. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And then from there, it's basically going to be all the way. Hold on, let me go back. I'll close the calendar. All right, from there, it's going to be basically from that Thursday all the way to. They said on the 16th, the Steam games are going to be up. So who knows how long? It's probably going to be up till the next week, which will be around, I guess, the 20th to 21st. It's basically going to give us a week and a half of just video game announcements, demos, previews, hands-on. I really do believe that this could be the best E3 ever without even having people go to the, LA Convention Center and stampedes and stuff. I really do believe that this could be the best E3. I really, really do. And yeah, I'm going in, I'm not going to lie, I'm going in the most hype you can possibly be for Nintendo, for Xbox, for third parties, 100%. Because last year was light on announcements, not from Xbox. Xbox announced stuff, they just didn't have gameplay to a lot of the stuff. But when it comes to Nintendo, it was light for announcements. We barely got to see Zelda. They already confirmed we gonna see Zelda this year. So, listen, man. I don't know how not to be hyped. I know I know that they didn't confirm Zelda for E3. They could easily save it for Direct at the end of the year. But let's be real. Let's be real. They're gonna show Zelda at E3. Why wouldn't you? This is the time. So I'm going in like, yo, guaranteed. This is the same way. Let's go back real quick because we are just talking about E3 here. So I want to just go back to the Xbox thing real quick to make a point about Zelda. Where is that? I want to bring it back up because if I'm not mistaken, all right, this artwork right here, that's not Master Chief. That's multiplayer. The bottom right there is space. That's easily Starfield. You know what I'm saying? They definitely gonna show that game. So yeah, you're gonna see Halo multiplayer, which is gonna be awesome to see. I'm saying we're gonna see Zelda, and I'm saying we're gonna see Zelda. It's not just gonna be a little trailer like the last one. No, we're gonna see this shit. I feel, and it's gonna be glorious, and we're gonna love it. And it's gonna be show stealing, and it's gonna be the game that's gonna want to make us not play nothing because all we want to play is that. So what we gonna want to do is go back to Breath of the Wild and start a whole new profile of that. Zelda, like, how can you not be excited for E3 2021? Look at that. You heard that noise out there? That's the excitement. No, but for real, man. Like, I'm so excited for E3 2021. I think this shit is gonna be just mind-meltingly amazing. Horizon Forbidden West, the game actually, from what I saw of the live stream, I actually watched Game Explain watching the live stream, and I watched it and I was like, this is, beautiful, like stunning, but I didn't see it in 4K. And now that I'm saying that, I'm gonna actually do something live right now. I'm gonna see if I can find a 4. Yeah, all right. I just had to write HOR and Horizon Forbidden West popped up. All right, 4K. I can watch the gameplay now a little bit in 4K. And let me lower that. And look, right at the start, I'm glad that I did this because I wanted to mention this because I almost forgot. It said, what did it say? All right, it says, let me pause right here. Captured on PS5, mix of gameplay and in-game cinematics. Right, I don't care about that. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and shade this game. Like, games do this all the time where they jump in from CG to a gameplay because now they can do it a lot more seamlessly. And I'm sure that's gonna be the case even more so now with the SSDs and less loading. But you can't really tell what's a cinematic other than when it is a cinematic. In game. Like, I think they did a really good job of making them blend in together. And yeah, man. Let me jump into some gameplay real quick. Like, it looks stunning, absolutely stunning. But here's the thing that I was saying. When am I gonna actually talk about? I was gonna talk about this next, so I might as well just make them one thing. I think that's why I actually put it like this in the notes. Digital Green Tea actually posted like, oh yo, look, like they put out, I guess, like a demo beta, a thing just basically for developers to play around with Unreal Engine 5. And it's basically like a girl running around. Like, I watched Digital Green Tea's gameplay on it, and he fought like this giant mech, and she was throwing like power balls, like at his like core in the center of his chest. And basically, the whole thing with Unreal Engine 5 is how they're gonna be using Hollywood, the same ones they use in The Mandalorian and all that. Because remember, that's Unreal Engine 5 due to the pandemic and everything. So gaming and movies, became even more intertwined, over the last year. But Unreal Engine 5. Those textures are the ones that they're going to use in movies and stuff like that, future projects. So it looks out of this world. And because I watched that first, these textures here, I'm like, yeah, I know that this is also a PS4 game. These textures all look amazing, but I know, watching this, like, this shit is not going to look good in 2 years. Like, it's going to look, let me not say it's not going to look good. It's still going to look good. It's just not going to look like, a showpiece game, showcase game. Because I think what Sony and Microsoft, like, all the developers are going to be using Unreal Engine 5 for the most part, a ton of them are. I think it's just going to make games have a really, really big jump. Because what I saw from that demo, I was like, that's insane. And then I saw pictures of Unreal Engine 5 basically on Series X, and it was insane. Like, the world, the textures, the rocks and everything looks a giant like level above what you're seeing here in Horizon. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, it is. And I'm not trying to like shade this game because this game is stunning. And I'm excited to play Breath of the Wild, which is not going to come anywhere near this. So I'm not trying to say, oh, because Unreal Engine 5 exists, this sucks. No, I'm just saying it was crazy how the timetables played into each other where I watched that and then I watched this and I was like, damn, maybe they should have waited. But I'm like, no, they shouldn't have, because this game is on PS4 and it doesn't matter. There's going to be another Horizon soon enough, you know, Horizon 3, and it'll be taking full advantage of all the jiggly wigglies of the PlayStation 5. So it don't really matter. But it was just an observation I made, and it was just something that I wanted to say. Like, this looks jaw-droppingly beautiful. One of the best looking open world games you've ever seen visually. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That is a fact. It's not an opinion. That is a fact. It's one of the best looking video games we've ever seen. Like, look at her going underwater right now. The color is insane. Like, it looks so much better than when I saw it before. So I'm not trying to take nothing away from it. Like, I was gonna make a point, but this shit just blew my mind. All these long, you know, vines under the water. Just, I mean, you can see the different shades of green, the orange tips, the super red tips of the leaves and everything. And then the machines swimming around there. Like, it's stunning. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of this is stunning, and I'm not trying to take nothing away from it. But Twitter, let's get to Twitter, right? Because I find I'm all over the place here. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you what I didn't like about this gameplay. Matter of fact, I'm going to put the volume up right now. You probably won't be able to hear this, or you might. Because my girl pointed this shit out. I said it first, I was like, yo, I hate the way PlayStation characters talk the whole time. Yo, she's underwater. And she's talking. And now, if that's in her mind, then I'm like, yo, just shut up. And let's be clear. Whether it was a man or a woman, I would feel like that. Because I feel like that with Uncharted, like Drake. Like, I'd be like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, I just want to play. I'm not saying you can't never talk, but it's so much. My bad. I had this shit still playing with volume in the background. It's so much, you know what I mean? The talking and Uncharted and all these games. Even God of War, I know he talks a lot more now. Always with the boy, and all of that. Because I don't know during gameplay, but Uncharted was, you know, crazy with that. I'm sure Last of Us had that. It's like, it's a thing, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, just because you could do it doesn't mean you technically should all the time. You know, not all the time. And I feel like it's all the time. In this game, yo, in this whole gameplay demo, she never shut up. But anyway, that's one of, you know, my biggest complaint is like, I hate characters that just yap all day. Unless it's Star Fox. That's the only time I accept it. And it's because they're co-pilots talking to each other. You know what I mean? So, yeah, let me just be clear about that. You know, it's not a thing about, oh, yeah, this woman talks too much. Nah, I ain't saying that. I would never say some shit like that. I'm saying just PlayStation characters talk too much. From Drake to, what's her name here? Aloy, right? Yeah, crazy. But anyway, what I will say about the Unreal stuff is, like, when we see Hellblade, whenever we do, I don't know if we're going to see it in 2 weeks at E3, you know, at Xbox, but there's the game showcase. But whenever we do, I think it's going to look drastically better than this. And I'm not saying that to shade this. I'm saying that's exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to play this game at all because it looks beautiful. But Twitter didn't feel like that. Twitter was really going crazy because this game is 30 frames per second. And me personally, like, y'all know I don't got no problem going in on Sony. I do it all the time. I don't think that's something you really want to be going in on, because if you're an Xbox guy, like, oh, this is 30 frames per second, Gears 5, Hi Busters is 60. It's like, yeah, that's a Xbox One game. You know what I'm saying? And I get it that this is also a PlayStation 4 game. But what you're seeing here, this is not going to look like this on PlayStation 4. That's a fact. So people got to relax. Like, some games are still going to be 30 because some developers are just going to prioritize visuals over frame rate. That's still going to happen. Maybe they'll have a performance mode or something like that. But again, you ain't going to see that till the game is launching, because they're not going to show the game in performance mode. They're going to show it in quality mode all the time, because people buy games based off, ooh, pretty visuals. And this game has a ton of pretty visuals. So the whole 30 frames per second thing, it's like, yeah, there's so much other shit that you could, you know, shade PlayStation fans for. Doing it with this is dumb. It's like, bro, we're probably going to be playing Breath of the Wild 2 in 30 frames per second. You're probably going to be playing plenty of Series X games in 30 frames per second. So, yeah, it's just a dumb thing. And Twitter, yo, like 30 frames per second was trending. I was like, yo, gaming is getting so dumb. So dumb. Like, I love that we got all these high frame rates, 120 frames and all that. Like, that's great. Don't get it twisted. I love it. But when people trying to act like, yo, this shit is unplayed trash, like, stop. Stop. But, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, let's talk about that Breath of the Wild influence. Another disappointment. You can't climb everything, it seems, in this game. and it's 2021. I'm not saying every game needs to do something based on what year it releases, because you can come out with Mega Man 9, Mega Man 10, 30 years after the original, and it could be the same visuals and still sell like crazy. I'm just saying, this game originally came out around the original Breath of the Wild, and it was compared and it was scrutinized because arrows kept flying into space, like burning grass wasn't really a thing. It was just very unrealistic in many ways, you know what I mean, in comparison to Breath of the Wild, which had a more cartoony anime visual style to it. This game can't climb on walls. I'm like, that's crazy. They added a paraglider, which they had to, and hers is like a digital one that comes out so it's really cool. I said every game has to pretty much have it. And she was fighting like a giant Oliphant, Lord of the Rings looking elephant. And yeah, it was a cool fight and everything. Played super well. I don't even think she really took that much damage in that. I don't think she took damage at all. The person who played it played the shit out this demo. But yeah, seeing her like fly through things and that thing breaking bricks and everything and going through, like, really cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really cool. So I got nothing negative to say about this game at all, really. Like, outside of it's like, yeah, they don't have climbing and everything. I know Assassin's Creed does it. So I'm like, they should have definitely took into consideration. But again, you can't put everything on every game because you don't know what kind of game this is. Maybe they want to tell certain stories, and it's like, you breaking my game if you being able to climb this mountain. You could just go over complete story beats, and that you got to design the whole game around it. So I get it. I'm not trying to like throw too much negative shade at it for not having climbing everything on climbing everything, like every surface. But yeah, it's something that I still definitely had to mention. Definitely had to mention that. So yeah, all the time I've been spending going in on Sony, right? Since last year when they did the whole flip-flopping and announcing games on PlayStation 4, and then I was like, yo, they lied to y'all, and it pissed me off to see somebody just lie to us. Like, who you lying to? Look, if you lie to if you lie to gamers, you lying to me. The shit is offensive, bro. Don't lie to us. You know what I mean? Like genuine, like real lie. But lying and saying, yeah, we're doing this one, we're doing that, or Xbox is wrong, but we're gonna follow complete, like that shit doesn't fly with me. But the whole time I was saying, yeah, y'all gonna buy this console based on these liars, right? These fucking liars. Which is what I was saying to y'all, right? Jim Ryan, all these people. And I was like, that shit ain't coming out this year, I said that. Now, I'm not saying I'm right yet. But that Horizon event ended with no release date. I went online, yo, wait, let's see if they may put out a press release for the release date. Nothing. They didn't even say 2022. 2021. Let alone 2022. So I said that wasn't coming out, God of War wasn't coming out, so what is it that's coming out on PlayStation this year? What's the big thing? They don't got an E3 for you to look forward to. Like, I know they're going to do something with the little Jeff Keighley show, but that's not E3. They done tapped out. I said they don't got the body of work. They don't got the content. And I know they got Ratchet coming out. But I'm like, yo, they just can't compete, I think, this generation with Xbox first-party output. And that's not, and fuck just the first-party. It's also the cheaper third-party games. It's Game Pass, all of that. It's just not a comparable thing. PlayStation 5 to Series X. Like, I don't say compare them. They're completely different. You know what I'm saying? One is a next generation platform and one is pretending to be. That's the truth. And now you don't even got a release date for this game. They showed it off before E3 just to show it. And I'm like, you don't even got a release date. That shit is crazy. That's crazy. I bet you we get a release date for Halo at E3. I bet you we get release dates for other games that they show at E3 for this year at Microsoft show, at Nintendo show. Brand new first party games from both Nintendo and Microsoft. Whereas Sony can't even give you a release date to a game that they told you last year was coming out this year. And now they showed it to you this year in the middle of the year and didn't give you no date. That's crazy. Which goes to show you, like I was saying, yo, they lying. They don't know. That's why they ain't give you a date. They're crunching over there. They pushing trying to get that game out, this year. And they probably even throw it out, not they learned, the whole industry learned their lesson from, especially Sony, because they delisted the game completely. So good on them. Cyberpunk 2077. But they're probably going to be like, you know what, maybe we just cut that part off and we'll save that for DLC. And this game, we could definitely get it out by November. If we cut that out and just save it for later DLC. And they might do something like that. I could see anything like that happen. This is the same Sony that put out infamous games that were demo. They put out a 2-hour order game. You know what I'm saying? They put out a demo for a price of a Metal Gear game. They put out a demo for a price of a Gran Turismo game. Sony's been for a long time not actually making full fucking games and getting a pass because nobody likes to talk about it. Only me, I know. But it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't make up those games. They really exist. Like Infamous and all these 2-hour little games. So they comfortable releasing some shit like that, and their audience is perfectly fine spending 70 on them, as they've been showing them. Well, not with Returnal. Returnal hasn't been that much of a success. Have you heard anybody talk about it? Nope, not at all. So yeah, man, it's crazy.